All right, and welcome back to the Ramble here on Great Scott Marcus. I'm Scott, and that one's Mark, and I did the whole intro thing in the outro, so I guess I'll do the proper intro again. This is episode 18 of our show on Ramble Entertainment. I'm Scott, and that one's Mark, and we have episodes every week where my best friend and myself sit down and just have regular old conversations. We just talk about things on our mind, and we don't really try to come to some grand point, but we might try to avoid kind of those internet gut reactions where we just immediately react and immediately have an opinion. I'm often the one who thinks a bit more than that one. Shh.
Just bad with words.
Oh God, he's right here.
I'm actually here today. It's weird. You can't just say it, and I can actually punch you in the head this time.
Oh, nice.
But I won't.
Yay! There's a cane right there I might beat you with.
Can't say I don't deserve it.
So, we're back, Mark. We've both finished Rectify Season 3, and
yes,
you're a bit more fresh on this one, so why don't you go ahead and kick this off?
It's so good! Seriously, you guys, that was... First and foremost, we're probably going to spoil a few things, so...
I would
stop now and go watch Rectify 1, 2, and 3 on Netflix, or if you have the Sundance Channel, they'll probably have replays on that. I'd imagine. I'll
put spoilers in the title because, I think this should just contain spoilers. That was beautiful. Just the 6-episode roller coaster of emotion. And they could have actually just ended it there. If they didn't renew it, I would have just been like, oh, wow.
They really could have.
I actually have goosebumps. I have goosebumps.
If I think about it too long, I will too.
Yeah.
I really think that they could have ended it, you're right. And... I'm curious as to why they didn't. I think, obviously, they want to try to get a little bit more...
conclusion.
More conclusion with what actually happened to Hannah Dean, who we never meet. But
there very well might be that kind of flashback to come.
Yeah.
But, they truly are capturing what I think... A real person in what real people are like in this situation, where because I think within I don't want to say most humans because I'm sure there is proof showing that most humans actually aren't capable of murder. However, I think that there's probably a good portion that is, and it just really makes you question that nature. Because, it's something primal or animalistic, and, it's interesting.
What I like about it, in Season 3 specifically, well, I won't say specifically Season 3, but, it's just how Daniel treats all the situations. And in Season 3, it really shines that I feel like it is more realistic. If this were some Disney drama, obviously he'd go to court and probably win that scenario, but he's just like, no, I've been dealing with this for 20 years, I want to get it done over with, which is why he took the plea deal and basically said that he did kill Hannah, but we actually don't know if he did or not.
I think at this point we know.
Yeah, and I feel like that was just a really nice sense of realism, like someone that's been in the system for 20 years for something that he may or did or did not do.
Likely didn't do.
And likely didn't do, and just wanted it over with and just wanted to put it behind him. And I also want to talk about the metaphors and symbols between Season 1 and 3.
I do want to say I don't want to talk about Season 1 and 2 very much because this is just a ramble. I do want to say that coming through these seasons, Season 1, it was kind of like, oh man, he didn't do it. Season 2 was just like, wait.
Maybe he
and then Season 3, there was just this moment where it was like, he did, or maybe he didn't, and then finally it was just like, no. In my mind, I'm almost 100% there.
Right.
And that ending, man, that last episode was so beautiful.
I felt like... I seriously thought it was going to end when he was on the beach with his mom. I thought that was it. I thought that was the end of the episode, and they just kept going. I'm like, there's more?
Yeah.
What did I do to deserve this? So there's two things. One of which is the kitchen that they've been redoing I think the thought was in season 1.
Almost like redoing relationships.
Redoing the kitchen, exactly. Like starting over a relationship, and in season, I think it was season 2 or I think it was 1 where Daniel actually like kind of tears everything up.
I want to fucking say how happy I am and how it was a bit too drawn out that like no one could just say like, well, Ted, what did you do to Daniel?
Yeah,
like. I don't think that was the end result that should have been deserved, but, like, man, sometimes, when there is a bully, you just gotta punch them in the face. Like...
Yeah, I mean, Ted Jr., whatever, he's very, he was abrasive. Obviously, he's not the most, charismatic man, I suppose.
Kind of creepy, but man, through his kind of creepiness, did he have a redeeming quality in this season?
He did. But I keep wanting to go back to this kitchen thing.
Please, I know, yeah, like these things keep jumping into my mind.
So
but yeah,
right. There's the kitchen thing, and the idea behind that is Daniel's mom said, "I want you to help with this kitchen." He ends up destroying it, trying to like get started on it, and I don't want to say he's destroying. Like that's not the symbology behind it that he's destroying the relationship.
He's kind of just tearing at the fabric of. Exactly. What was already set in place.
Exactly, and kind of like throwing a wrench in how things were done around there. Mm-hmm. And then in season 3, he does the pool. And what's interesting about that is like he did the pool by himself. He had the job, he painted it, he even wrecked it a little bit, and he's like, nope, I'm going to do this, I'm going to fix this. And what I like that is he just took the responsibility of, I'm going to do this for me and for myself, and it's his own entity. And Ted and Teddy Jr. finished the kitchen, just kind of like showing that the family couldn't put Daniel back on his own tracks. He needed to do things for himself, and I really liked that in the show. I really thought in the beginning that they were all going to be a happy family and finish the kitchen together, but in season 3 with the pool thing, I'm like, this is what he needs to do. He needs to do things on his own, and just like the plea deal, he wanted this to be done on his own accord and not have John and Amantha and his family just involved in staying with the past, even.
I think that's an interpretation. I think I'm not one for as much symbolism as I used to be, but I definitely understand it, and I can definitely see that perspective. Mm-hmm. I think it's I just like a lot of like the realism of the relationships where
absolutely
it's not excessively dramatized. Daniel's mom was just like, I'm his mother. What did you do to him, Teddy? I'm sorry that I couldn't be as good a mother to you as you deserved, but like obviously, he's not going around doing this to everyone.
Right.
Like, what'd you do? And I definitely love that part because I do feel that got a bit too dragged out. Mm-hmm. And Ted is one of those characters I do actually feel bad for, even though he's been a complete
adult Ted,
douche.
Old Ted.
Yeah.
I liked him at first, but then the way he treated Daniel's incident, obviously he was very like, this is my family. Like, he's kind of pulled the alpha male when he found out about it, which I don't really blame him.
Oh, you're talking Dad Ted.
Dad Ted, yeah.
I was talking about Teddy Jr.
Okay, yeah.
And when he took I forget his name. He took the youngest for a ride, the youngest of the family. Jacob, thank you.
Yeah, that was creepy.
It was creepy, but like, man, did he make a good point out of that. Mm-hmm. He was just like, and you don't fucking need to be that person. Yeah. Like, that was very well done.
It really was. I when he's watching, what's her name?
Tawny,
from the window, like in the truck, like that's so creepy. Like, that's classic Ted. But then at the end, when he's Jared, not Jacob. Jared, sorry.
So he's telling this story about how like there was a girl in the high school who was kind of
had a reputation.
Thank you. That was a very polite way to put that. Mm-hmm. And he took her. He got his first car and he took her out, and He kind of went too far into the details of like, they did it, yeah, and he never talked to her again. But then like he turned that completely on its head and was just like, and you don't need to be that person, and that was awesome. I was like grimacing at that scene because
too, for sure.
It's meant to make you very awkward, and
And that show's done a great job with that, too. Kind
Exactly.
of really stirring up those feelings inside you, like, how do I feel about this? Or even, like, season 1 in the golf course, or the driving range, you know, Daniel's talking about basically rape in prison, and you're watching this thing like, oh my god, this is horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for season 4. It's actually going to be on Sundance Channel. We're not sponsored by them, but that's just where it's going to be in October.
Which leads us right into Hypetrain. No,
yeah, maybe.
Do you have anything you want to actually conclude on?
I don't think so. It's
I want to say that even I do completely love the ending. However, for all the things that would totally happen in real life, that is not one of them. Why?
Which part?
Because your mom would totally come in to, like, check out where you're living.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
He's like, I need to do this on my own. But that reflects, I think, to my mind, that reflects the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing,
Oh,
too.
yeah. It was that was one of those things that was very, to the point. It was very representational. It was very metaphorical.
Yeah, and I love that they took the road trip together. Him and his mom.
That was
that was great.
It was very juxtaposition to the season where you could finally start to feel this closure and this certainty towards everything that was going on. Beautiful, beautiful show. Get out there and watch it. I have goosebumps thinking about it. Like,
I'm about to. They're brewing.
So, Hypetrain. Dude, like, thinking about Rectified, thinking about The Expanse coming back on, I'm not one to force anybody to watch something, but I'm thinking about it again. I think you should give it a shot. I know
it's on Amazon, right?
I have it on Amazon, and I can easily just give it to you to watch. I think they have it on Hulu if you have a Hulu subscription.
I don't technically, but my sister and I share our credentials, so I can watch it on Hulu.
It's up to you, but honestly, I'm just excited for some damn good sci-fi and just some damn good shows coming out of the fall that or that have been a part of this past cycle that will be coming to Netflix, and just more shows coming out on Netflix.
Yeah.
So it's one of the, like, I can already feel it's going to be a good season to just sit inside and enjoy shows and apply to jobs.
I believe it will be a good season. I think it was the last episode or maybe the episode before talking about seasons. And I was like, I'm excited to be able to sit inside at like 9 o'clock, be in my bed, and start watching these shows and movies. Obviously, Rectify. I'm probably gonna try to watch that when it actually airs.
We'll talk about that because I have expressed that I don't have the channel, which would mean I'm kind of watching it illegally, and I get it, but I don't like being that person.
Yeah, I feel the same way, but it's like, since I had to rewatch 1 and 2. Yeah, exactly. I had to rewatch 1 and 2 because it's been so long before I watched 3, and it's like, I don't want to go next year and have to rewatch all 3 again to get to 4, so...
Keep going. I'm gonna stand up because, as I have expressed on this show, I live in pain, and believe it or not, even a chair that looks comfy like this can actually make things worse on a day like today.
The camera's gonna try having trouble focusing.
Here, what I'll do is I'll do this. So
perfect.
I'll just cut off the top of my head. So, yeah, so we actually haven't even talked about this. Are you going to check out some Warframe today, or do you think we're going to play some Rocket League, or just go grab some food, or...
I'll just go grab some food, I guess.
I obviously asked because I know you're, you have to drive back.
Yeah, I just get, I get a little antsy to, be back at home.
I get it.
And yeah, baseball is going to an end, and I did say I will drink at your bar, put that in quotes, drink at your bar and play some Warframe, see what that's about. I'm excited to get back into the Division, too. I actually started that up yesterday. I played like an hour before I left to come up here. And, I'm excited to hopefully finish that and see what that whole story is about. I know there's all sorts of endgame nonsense that you were talking about, but I'm not really...
It just kind of comes back to, like, the issue of Destiny, which I'll be very curious to see how they handle Destiny 2, because... the Division almost concerns me about Destiny 2 because it's just like you have 2 things to do at the end of your game, and yet they have this fully realized world, with all these awesome side quests, and it's just like, really, you can't have like, weekly side quests or something that like refresh and you have a different assortment of, and you can even like start having like these mini stories, and just tie them together and just use the same characters, but instead they're like a completely different story of like a gang or something, or like a subset of each of the 3 factions. Like, it was that was kind of weird, and like we keep bringing this up, but it's kind of like just it'll happen eventually. Like, I'm interested in seeing what they have added to that world, but I have no interest in its endgame because its endgame is stale and boring compared to this beautifully realized world. And I've been talking to my friends in game who are playing Destiny, and Jen and I have talked about revisiting the game, basically waiting until like there's a collection of, because we didn't buy the Taken King, which you have to own to get the new content, and so it's like, we don't want to pay $60 if we're not going to play that endgame. But if the Division is only PS4 and Xbox One and PC, and it only has 2 things at its endgame, that does make me think about, like, does Destiny know to expand? Like, you gotta wonder. So that's interesting to me, because I have been hyped to maybe get back into a bit of Destiny, but not too much.
Right.
And it's like, fuck. That's only just hitting me. So it's like, Bungie, get your shit together. So, and Destiny is even one of those games that also have that kind of Fallout effect, where it's just like they update even less than Warframe, and so like the content gets even more stale there, and so a lot of their veterans. Some of which actually did start playing other games and kept their audience, but interesting. These are interesting things to think about that I talk about with myself. Because
well, I'm here so I can actually listen to while you're talking to yourself out loud to make you feel a bit better and slightly more sane.
So I'm hyped for Titanfall, but I'm still not in a PvP mood.
Sure.
Rumblers is cool as fuck.
Rumblers.
The Rocket League,
yeah. That's actually a lot of fun. It's hard. It's a lot harder, I think, than I would imagine, because it adds a huge element of randomness. Like, I feel like when you're playing Rocket League, there's a lot of control, and whichever mode you're playing in, there's still an element of control that you're controlling things. But then with the Rumble mode, there's a lot of shit you have no control over, and it's interesting. It's hard and kind of aggravating, but I do want to get back on it, and it's I love playing that game for half hour at a time, maybe an hour before I go to bed or something like that.
Cool.
It'll be interesting to see what they come up with next too.
I was thinking about the spikes and how the ball sticks to you. Football. I like it. People said it wouldn't fit, but like if each car was just kind of sticky, like you would almost need more cars or almost a smaller field, so that there's more opportunity to make sure you collide with each other. I'm not sure. But it definitely shows that. I mean, technically, that was Rocket League's original form when it was super acrobatic, rocket-powered battle cars. I think that was the...
I've never thought that title just got fired. It's so... too much.
I believe the original game started with powers, but I think it did make it excessively complicated. And now that people know and understand Rocket League, they can add that complication. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Desire, which I like that about that, too. It's not like it's forcing you to play Rumble. It was like, no, you have to have these powers now. It's like, no, you can go back and just play standard Chaos or 3v3. Yeah.
Cool.
It's good.
So, that's been the Hype Train, guys. I'm Scott, and that one's Mark. We'll be back in the topic of the week, which is... I have it written down as how we treat issues. Another way to look at this is like this perspective of the size of an issue. I'll find kind of a shortened version of that, but yeah, we'll be talking about that in our topic. Stay tuned.